What's going on, everybody? How's it going out there? We're going to redo this episode. I fucked up last time because I didn't trust Trek because he doesn't know how to talk. And it's a good thing I did have him muted because he took everything that I gave him word for word. And that's not what I wanted him to do. So we're going to redo this episode. And if he fucks it up, I'm going to kill him. And then I'm going to redo the episode and make it my own. That being said, we're going to be doing Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart. If you don't know, Heather put the timestamp in the beginning of the chat. I'll give it to you now, just so that you're not having to scroll up. It's 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 58 seconds. WrestleMania 13. It's Austin versus Bret Hart. Yeah, Austin versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13 in an I Quit match, if I remember if that's what it was called. I'm going to let Trek do the build-up to this WrestleMania match, because really, this could have really been one of the great feuds in WWE, but we all know what happened a few short months later. Damn, I got heartburn really fucking bad. It's fucking pissing me off. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Trek. Actually, I'm going to introduce everybody. With us on the call today is Bobbit, Trek, Heather. Ronnie will not be here tonight. She's still feeling under the weather. So we're going to be watching along. We'll all be giving our thoughts throughout the match, but I'm going to let Trek take the lead. God help us all. That's an understatement. But, Trek, go ahead and take it away.
All right, so it pretty much started right after WrestleMania 12, where Bret and Shawn had their match. Soon after that, we saw Bret leave right after that, and then we see Austin just start running Bret down verbally on the mic, saying, "I can kick your ass, you can't do anything, you're a crybaby." Bret comes back on Raw and accepts his challenge. They have a fight at Survivor Series, which Bret wins, and that was a damn good match. Bret wins the match because Austin refused to release the $1 Million Dream. Bret kicks off the turnbuckle, lands back on Austin, and gets the 1, 2, 3. This leads into Royal Rumble the next year, where Austin was eliminated by Bret Hart, but since the refs were separating Terry Funk and Mankind, they didn't see it. So Austin gets back in the ring and screws over Bret Hart, dumping him, I think, Vader and Undertaker out, and was unofficially the sole survivor of the Royal Rumble. He won the Royal Rumble. There was a tainted victory, as they would say. Following that, it was supposed to be Shawn versus Psycho Sid, and I just rewatched that, and unfortunately, Shawn had to give up the belt because he hurt his knee. So instead of them going for the number one contendership, it ended up them being in a fatal four-way match: Bret, Austin, Vader, and Undertaker. And whoever won the match was being the new WWE champion, which ended up being Bret Hart. What they didn't know was that Bret had actually suggested for it to be Austin, but Austin hurt his knee. He tweaked his knee when he got kicked out of the match, too, because he fell outside weird. So he kind of messed up his knee, which ended in he suggested that he was going to get an early title run.
Trek, hold up a second. I want to welcome Big Papa PhD to the chat. Thanks for being here. If you don't know who that is, you're a fucking idiot. How's it going, everybody? Hi, everybody in the chat. How's it going, Dave Doherty, Aaron Reed, and Ryan Romano? I think there's more in the chat, but I'm not sure. Thanks for being here, guys. I'm sorry, Trek. Go ahead.
That's okay, man. That was good. So it gets to, I believe Bret the next night had to defend against Psycho Sid, and Austin screwed him out of it pretty much, and like that. It just all the shit just hit the fan. They were gonna have a grudge match at WrestleMania, turned into a submission match, and if Bret had been able to get the title back or hold on to a title. It was going to be him versus Austin for the title. Unfortunately, it was originally announced that Undertaker was going to fight Sid at WrestleMania. So in the cage match between Sid and Hart, Undertaker came down and slammed the big door on Bret's head, and let Sid win the match so he could fight for the title at WrestleMania. And then Bret just went full board heel afterwards and starts cussing everybody out. He blamed Stone Cold, even though Austin tried to come down and help him, so it could be them for the title. And then it just went Austin just got on the Titantron and said, I tried to help you and you're still a loser. And Bret that's the night that Bret went buck wild and just went full heel and just started cursing everybody out. I think that's the beginning of the 5-second delay on USA Network, because they reportedly that they were told that was going to happen, but I find that a little hard to believe because they didn't have the censor ready, and he just starts cussing the whole time. That leads us into the WrestleMania match we're going to watch, which is Austin versus Hart submission match, which Austin didn't know. He was afraid he was going to stick up the joint because he didn't know how to do any submissions. He didn't have any submissions. And I was honestly wondering how he was going to get done too, because I remember the submission he had was the $1 Million Dream, but he had separated himself from that when DiBiase left. So,
well, Austin, as you all know, Austin, he was a very good technical wrestler before his moveset was limited because they wanted to make him a brawler,
right.
Which is essentially what they did. Now, you all know that Stunning Steve Austin and, the ringmaster, Austin knew many, many, many moves. It's just they limited his moveset because they wanted him to step away from the Stunning Steve or the ringmaster gimmick. So he really didn't have any one submission. He had the, not the STFU. He should have used the Steiner recliner. Thanks, Big Puff. But he had the Texas cloverleaf. He knew how to use, but it was one of those things where he didn't have one signature finisher as a submission move. So that's why he said what he said. Now that being said, he could have, but it just wouldn't have made sense because he was a brawler. Go ahead.
No, that's pretty much it. And also in the lead up, he was friends with Brian Pillman, which he was in real life, but Brian Pillman was pretty much his mouthpiece unofficially. And then Brian Pillman went into a promo and just started talking about Bret Hart, and then Austin snapped and put the chair on his ankle and just crushed his ankle, which was a way for them to write him off TV because he already had an ankle problem. So it's a way to write him off. And then we get to WrestleMania 13, and we got the match here. I mean, it's probably one of the best matches ever.
Okay. Well, that's it? That's all you're going to talk about? All right.
That's it. I mean, adding Ken Shamrock to the match, too, I was intrigued by that because I didn't know how he'd referee the match. Sometimes you get celebrities stand back and just let him go, but he was really...
You think about it, it was actually it was easy to referee because it was a submission match. And Bruce Pritchard talked about this on his show when they went over WrestleMania 13, that it fit perfectly because he was an MMA guy and submissions were his thing. So, okay. So, anything else?
Not that I can think of. I mean...
All right, we're going to try this one more time. Remember, again, 1 hour, 20 minutes, 58 seconds is the timestamp that we're starting at. I'll give everybody about 30 seconds to hit that timestamp, and then we'll go. I'm not going to lie to you, Dave. I didn't see much difference between Jon Moxley and Dean Ambrose. I watched it twice. It was okay. It was a typical Dean Ambrose match. but it wasn't nothing special. That's good, Rue. I heard that Laura's actually might get to go home tomorrow, and then William will get to go home on Saturday. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. So, on the count of 3, we're gonna go. So when I say go, actually, so in 3, 2, 1, go.
I remember this whole WrestleMania was just, it was a spectacle, but they started off saying, it wasn't what they call the Granddaddy Romo. It's just based on just feuds, and these guys just wanted to tear each other apart.
Well, that makes no sense. Because isn't every wrestling match based on a feud? Isn't it supposed to be based on a feud?
No, I mean, but the whole WrestleMania one, it wasn't just like one WrestleMania match, the main event being based on a feud, like he did Lesnar versus Reigns and stuff. That it was like, if I remember correctly, when they did the promo at the beginning, it said the spotlight in WrestleMania had been dimmed because the guys had taken it into their own hands, pretty much.
I do know that Stone Cold came in as a heel into this match. He was the heel. So I will dispute with Trek that Bret Hart turned heel during that time when he slapped the shit out of Vince. That time you went ape shit. He was still a babyface.
Yeah, he had started the heel turn, but he hadn't officially done heel yet.
No, the heel turn happened here. Yeah. He didn't start going heel until he started showing heel tendencies, but he didn't go heel until. I mean, he wasn't even hinting at it. People at this time didn't catch on that he was turning heel.
Right.
So this is a prime point that fucking fans. Kayfabe was still a thing during this time. I mean, yes, the curtain call had happened, but kayfabe was still going good. Kayfabe died when fucking social media came in.
Exactly.
That is exactly it. He came in as a babyface and left. Came in as a heel and left as a babyface. The very next night on fucking Raw, the full-blown heel turn happened. The heel turn actually happened here, but the full-blown him actually going full heel. Bret Hart going full heel happens the very next night.
I forgot to mention, I loved Austin's entrance when he came through the broken glass. I'd never seen anything like that when I was watching wrestling.
Yep. And it's sugar glass that they're using. Fucking Austin looks at the referee and is like, fuck it, I'm gone. After. This isn't even a wrestling match.
No.
This is a full-blown fight.
Right.
And this is why I love this match so much. Because it should not be a wrestling match. It should be a fight.
Hey, Chauncey.
Hey, what's up, Chauncey?
And especially because nowadays you have so many fights in the ring that start off with a tie-up, collar elbow tie-up. This one just started with them beating the shit out of each other, which I appreciated. It made it feel more realistic.
Yeah.
Austin getting thrown into the ring post. I'm shocked he didn't bust him. They didn't get busted over there because he hit hard.
He hit his shoulder.
Yeah. The guy in the orange jacket just took a
it scared the shit out of her. Go ahead.
The guy in the orange jacket, the event staff guy, just took a foot in the head from Bret and no sold it.
Does it look like you lost it?
Yeah, the string's all full on. It's back up now.
It'll come back up in a
There
second.
you go.
Keep going, Trek.
Cool. I look at all the signs too. You see a couple of signs nowadays, but look at all the signs in the crowd now. It's like they didn't censor everybody too much. It's like they would have the weirdest signs. They'd have Sid with scissors and stuff, and nowadays it's like you see, they have to hand out signs like hugger. It's hugger section or something like that. They'd hand out signs. You could tell that they're handed out. That the fans are just going crazy, smacking him on the back. The guy in the jacket, he's just having a good time.
Mm-hmm. So help me God, because they beat the shit out of each other one more fucking time. I'm talking to you. You said it like 20 times now.
I'll try to think of different stuff to say.
Back body drop on the fucking
Yep.
stairs. Ugh. Tomorrow's your Monday. I can't wait for my Friday. God damn, man.
For a second, it looked like the guy in the orange jacket was getting pulled along with Austin.
Yeah.
I missed the steel. The steel ratings. I missed those. I get that they were getting hurt with those, but I missed those. They added and went to the realism of the match, the grittiness.
Let me throw you into a fucking padded barricade to see if it still doesn't fucking hurt.
No. I agree. It's just it looked better when they had just the steel railing. So
I don't think it adds anything. I don't think it takes away from it. I disagree with that. Honestly, it doesn't take anything away from the. It's just, do you want a guy have a fucking broken collarbone?
no, I was saying that maybe it's because I grew up back in the day when that's all you saw. Then when they started putting padding on, it seemed kind of off to me as all. Austin picking up the steel steps, he almost ate it falling back to the back there. He was real close to hitting his neck on the steps.
So, Dave, you're asking if it's possible that it was designed for Austin to turn good? No, it was designed for him. Yes, it was. It was designed for him to turn face.
Right.
Bruce Pritchard talks about it. The whole Stone Cold was over.
Yeah.
They really took a chance with it. Bret Hart was starting to turn heel. And so they really took a chance with this and it worked. So yeah, I think if I remember correctly, Bruce Pritchard said that it was designed for them to turn him babyface.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Yep.
So was his mother.
I don't know if Austin was flipping off a fan or was flipping off Shamrock because he flipped the double bird right then.
Right.
He was flipping. I think Shamrock asked if he wanted to quit, so he flipped them off. So.
Yep. You just did it.
Yep. I love that they're telling the story, just the picking apart his knee and just going straight for it. I'm like, that's such good storytelling in the match.
Really, the storytelling hasn't even started yet.
No, I know, but
Bret Hart, let me tell you something about Bret Hart. I liked Bret Hart. He's a very technical wrestler. I did not enjoy him. He sucked on the microphone.
Yeah.
He sounded everybody bitches about Roman Reigns being robotic. My God, Bret Hart tops it. Sorry. But I will give Bret Hart credit. He had a little more charisma and was believable. He's a very technical wrestler. So he always worked on the knee because his finisher was a sharpshooter, which is an inverted figure four, I guess you could say, kind of like. But the real story is when Austin gets cut open, because that's where lies the story. They're building Stone Cold Steve Austin up to be this badass motherfucker. That's what they're doing. Yes, he loses this match, but they're building him up to be a badass motherfucker. Like, he never taps out. And I don't think he ever tapped out, if I remember correctly. Even as a heel, I don't think he ever tapped out.
That's one of my favorite Bret Hart moves, to the figure four around the ring post. You never saw anybody do that until he started doing it.
See how the heel tactics are taking place? Only a heel does those kinds of things.
Right.
If you hear Wendy, don't worry, William does.
Here's Wendy.
Oh.
That's her hungry cry, Roo.
Oh, yeah. Well, she did hit her head on the ground again, but at least she was padded. We got her a little padded mat.
Her little foam play mat was under her this time. I think it was a little over before that, Dave.
What's that?
What Darty just put in the chat.
Yeah, that was the year before. He actually did that the year before. King of the Ring, 1996. This is 1997.
Yep.
Thanks for subbing, Trace Atkins. Jeez, Lord in heaven. Not the right kind of Atkins, bonehead. Bobbit, what do you think of this match so far?
Pretty good.
No, Dave. I'm not disputing. I was just telling you it was very iconic because it became one of the biggest taglines. In fact,
that's where the Austin 316 shirts came from.
And that's why Stone Cold Steve Austin became the biggest shirt merchandise seller in WWE history.
Even to this day, I think.
I think so. I think Roman Reigns might have taken over. That's because shirts are more expensive nowadays.
Right.
With inflation, I'm pretty sure that Stone Cold is.
The first wrestling shirt I ever got was an Austin 316 one.
I've never gotten an Austin 316 shirt.
I would have loved to have gotten one.
But yes, you are correct. It was very iconic when he said that because Vince did not like swearing.
And the look on Michael P.S. Hayes' face.
Yep. Fucking stupid.
It's a lot of people's favorite match there, Big Papa.
Carry the one.
33 the third.
Doot.
Yeah. Does Michael Hayes still work for? I think he's in creative on SmackDown, isn't he?
Oh, he's on NXT.
Yep.
Oh, he's on NXT. Thank you. I like also that they're not switching camera angles every single move. It's just like one or two camera angles, and then they show the crowd, but only if they need to. Whereas nowadays, it's like 5 different camera angles, 10 million different replays. It's like
they still do the same thing. It's Kevin Dunn.
Yeah.
He's always done the same thing. Nothing's changed there.
I actually wanted to see what happened if you put the sharpshooter on him.
Get her done.
Yeah.
Carry the one.
And it was a total, how can I put this? It was, I don't want to say it's a fluke that Austin won the King of the Ring, but he wouldn't have won if they hadn't done the curtain call because they had to punish somebody and they had to punish Triple H. So, because Triple H was going to win the King of the Ring that year.
Sure about that?
Yeah, because I remember I read that, and I think Austin talked about it, and Triple H said, "Yeah, I was in the doghouse. I was supposed to win King of the Ring that year, and they had to punish somebody because Shawn was champion. The other two guys were leaving, Razor and Diesel, excuse me, and so they only had Triple H to punish."
You say that like you're giving us a fucking history lesson.
Well, I just remember that for so many years that they said, "Oh, they had to punish somebody, and that's why he didn't win that year." I think he won the year afterwards.
Triple H?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think he won in 1998, if I remember.
Yeah. There's Austin busted open. There's another thing they didn't like to show, which is a lot of blood.
They weren't supposed to do it. Vince, at the time, they had a no blood policy. Bob it. Yeah, that's not. That's
You'll
Bob
see.
it.
You'll see.
Keep talking. Nope, now he's starting to bust him open. As you can see, there really wasn't a lot of blood drawn, but they make it look like it.
Yeah, them wiping it all over his face. It was very little blood, but he made it just like seem more prevalent.
He's actually, what he's doing is he's really.
He's trying to prevent it from clotting, so it'll keep bleeding.
Yes, that's why he's wiping.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to be Dustin levels.
No.
Not in this one anyway. No, that's.
But I have seen Steve Austin bleed on
Dustin Reynolds levels.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
But you also have to remember, Austin was wiping the blood off. Dustin Reynolds didn't wipe the blood off.
No. He just let it flow.
Yeah. But that's because he bladed himself. Austin didn't blade himself.
No. I thought I remember him saying he wanted to get color, but he didn't know how, so Bret helped him. And he threw him into the... But he said Bret zipped him, which is like, do like that, so...
Bret did what?
Zipped him, which I guess is the term like when you get the blade and you go like that for a second.
Yes.
And that spot by Bret where he went certain into the turnbuckle always freaked me out because I'm like, dude, I thought for sure he was going to cave his chest in. That's bad.
My math class. Listen to the crowd. They're starting to swell for Stone Cold. And this is the last WrestleMania that Vince announced.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yep.
From here on out, it was Jim Ross and then Michael Cole. Oh, Austin was the underdog in this match. He always was. He wasn't supposed to win this match. But
In theory.
no. Well, in theory, in theory, Austin won the match because of the way it ended, because he never really quit.
Right. Yeah, we've talked about this before that it's just you can lose a match, you can still look good. It's just really sad when some people don't want to lose anything. They want to win, 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 win. This match is proof you can lose the match and still look damn good and get yourself over. I mean, both guys got themselves over. You know, someone had to lose, someone had to win. So.
Right.
Coming up on that immortal shot that was on all the magazine covers, and if you Google that with Austin WrestleMania, it'll pop up first.
It's right. Nope, not yet.
No.
Here it comes.
Yep.
There it is.
Yep.
And this is what turned Steve Austin into a babyface, right fucking there.
Yep.
Showing the resiliency.
And he lived up to his word. He said, I will not say I quit. I will not tap out. I'll pass out before I tap out. I'm like, oh, he lived up to his word.
Oh, here's the iconic look. I think he lifts up one more time. I can't remember. Nope, there it is. He just goes, he doesn't tap out, he just goes to sleep.
Yeah.
And this is where Bret Hart kind of goes heel, but he doesn't really go heel yet.
Right. And yeah, it doesn't take away from the impact of the match. You know, sometimes the post-match stuff takes away from the match. It takes center stage. This one just added to it.
And this is where Ken Shamrock, I think this is the beginning of Ken Shamrock's run too.
Yes.
Yep.
He just signed with them at this match.
He was teased there for a couple weeks. I think he was getting in confrontations with like Farouk and Nisha Domination members and stuff. He was dropping hints, but this is his first actual in-ring work.
Yeah.
Have a good night, Gina.
She left a while ago, brother.
Oh, okay. I just saw in the chat.
I would have said something, but this is the beginning of the heel turn.
Right. Just flipping off fans as he leaves too.
Yep, there he just flipped a guy off.
And he really didn't like, you know, doing that sort of stuff. He didn't seem to do it too often until the go home show for WrestleMania when he started cursing, and then that right there, you never really see him curse too much because he was very careful about what his kids saw.
Right.
But when he wanted to go full
fucking
board.
Austin stunning referees and shit.
Yep.
And this is where the moniker, the toughest SOB in the wrestling business, came from.
Right.
If anybody wonders why do they call Stone Cold Steve Austin the toughest SOB, this is why.
Yep.
And no more than three months later, Vince would get stunned by Austin.
Yeah.
Or something like that. No, like 4 or 5 months later, he'd get stunned by Austin because he wouldn't let Austin compete, because this is before the neck injury from Owen.
Right.
And thus would start one of the most iconic storylines in all of wrestling.
One of the most iconic feuds in WWE history, in wrestling history, as a matter of fact, created one of the greatest heels of all time. And yes, it was the owner of the company.
Right, back
as
then.
Chris Jericho so famously said, who wouldn't want to kick the shit out of their own boss?
And which is why they did that storyline, because, I mean, Monday Night played that moniker of having a long day at work and you come home and you sit down and you're frustrated and you watch Stone Cold beat the shit out of the boss and you feel better. You feel better. You feel like, oh my God, I actually can imagine myself doing that to my boss, and you move on with your day, and your day moves by quicker. That's why I think they did it. That's my thinking behind it.
Right.
But that being said, it was a good match. One of the best matches I've seen of all time. Probably the best match I'll ever see, unless I see another one come. I have yet to see a match top it. That's just my opinion.
Not just yours, it's also quite a few people within the industry in and of itself.
And yes, it's better than Kenny Omega and Okada. Sorry, not sorry. Just the story of the match told so much. But yeah.
You're gonna start this again?
Trek?
This is my favorite match of all time because I was a big Stone Cold fan. It became a big Stone Cold fan back in high school. I mean, you know, the wrestling landscape was changing. You didn't want to see Hope be a good guy. The whole thing like this. He was even starting to change too. I think he was just changed. The first pay-per-view I got to see the next day because I had a friend tape it off their pay-per-view for me. Usually I had to wait like 4 or 6 months for it to show up at Blockbuster, said that, and like before the network and everything like that. Just they told a good story without choreographing the crap out of it, and it's just they let the guys go, which is sorely missed in wrestling today.
What makes this match that much better, Ryan, is it told a great story outside of the ring too. Just the story of the feud itself. It was a great in-ring performance, and it was a great promo, great storytelling outside of the ring as well. So all around, the storytelling was one of the greatest stories in wrestling. That this match here transcended wrestling and is arguably the reason why the Attitude Era started. Because Vince is like, maybe blood isn't a bad idea.
Right.
Not that we need to see it all the time, but maybe blood isn't a bad idea. So, yeah, that's my thinking on it. Heather?
It's definitely one of the matches that's going to last throughout all of history until something actually tops it, which I don't think it's going to happen.
I think something will top it, but it's not going to come from WWE anytime soon.
No, it'll probably end up being from New Japan.
It probably will be. I mean, Kenny Omega Okada was really close.
Yes.
Really close. But, yeah. Bobbit, are you still here? Bobbit, are you still here?
Yes, Dad.
What did you think of the match?
Thought it was a pretty good match. One of the most iconic matches of all time, and yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna end the show here. But next week, I'm gonna be putting a poll out. I've got like 4 matches because it's my turn. Asshole here, man, fucking whining and crying. It's my favorite match. Fucking pussy. Couldn't think of a different match. Had to copy me. So, you laugh, motherfucker. I'm gonna put 4 matches out there on a Twitter poll. I'd have to think about those 4 matches. They might not come from WWE. Well, it might come from WWE. It might come from WCW. It's definitely not coming from ECW because I don't give a shit about ECW. There's a couple of good matches on there, but it could be the first match I've ever seen, which you all will fucking hate because it's Nick Bockwinkel versus Hulk Hogan in 1983, I think. No, 1981. Excuse me. So, but we'll see. I'll figure it out. or it might be Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes 1985 or something. I'll figure something out. So with that being said, like I said, I'll put the poll out, and then we're gonna make an announcement next week. There's an announcement coming next week about wrestling memories. So keep in mind, and the anticipation of what's coming next week. I'll put the poll out tomorrow probably, and then we'll have an announcement next week. Next week we'll bring back Beat the Trek for Monday night. Make sure, I was gonna have Cody on. Did we do it on Tuesday? If it's
Yep.
if it's Tuesday, we'll do it Tuesday, but we're gonna do it differently. I have to get Cody on. He's gonna take me on, and then the winner of that takes. I'm doing it completely different. Whoever beats Trek, or whoever wins the round to get to Trek, then we'll have that round. So that being said, y'all have a great night, and we will talk to you
Tomorrow on Bob's channel.
Tomorrow on Bob's channel for
This Week in Wrestling.
This Week in Wrestling. I'm gonna talk about some. Oh, Gorilla got here late. What's up, man? We just finished watching WrestleMania 13, Austin versus Bret Hart. We got the timestamp. The timestamp is 1 hour, 20 minutes, 58 seconds. If you want to watch along and watch again, and we'll talk about what's going on throughout. What the? It's so funny.
I was laughing at what Big Papa PhD said in the chat.
Well, if you would stop taking this out of your mouth, you'd be getting a lot less misery.
You'd beat off the truck with the T-Rex arms. Okay, yeah, and then the timestamp is 1 hour 20 minutes and 58 seconds, Gorilla. Just pull it up on the network and start watching it, and then we'll go from there. But I appreciate you coming in, man. But that being said, we'll end the stream here, and we will talk to you guys next week, or tomorrow, over on Bobbitt's channel, and then next week for Raw, SmackDown, and then Wrestling Memories with my poll winner, and then the big announcement about Wrestling Memories. We're not going away. I'm going to make that perfectly clear, but there's going to be some changes, and I'm not going to tell you what's going on. You'll find out next week. So that being said, I want to thank Trek for being here. Trek, you did okay. I'll give you a D. Just kidding, man. You did all right. I would have done better, but whatever. I want to thank everybody for being here. You guys have a great night, and we will talk to you tomorrow night. Truck, you're never allowed to fucking.
Okay, so you said that about him last time.